Welcome back to Joe and Di's Allotment channel. Yeah, and thank you for Di being behind the camera as always. Every year we try to grow one experimental or unusual crop and see how we get on with it. And if it's successful, we keep it. And if it's not, we move on to something else. I've always wondered how you get these nice, delicious green pumpkin seeds. Yeah, if you've been watching our channel for some time, you know we don't like to waste things that we grow. So we have tried to process pumpkin seeds before, but the traditional pumpkin seeds have got a white seed, which has got a thick hull, which is inedible, and it's very hard to remove as well. So it's not been very successful in the past. So I did some research and I found out that the sort of green pumpkin seeds that we buy in shops are from a variety called Kakai. And we sort of grew some this year. I think I grew sort of Marshall's Kakai seeds. Grew about 3 or 4 plants. We ended up with about 8 pumpkins. So I'm going to cut them open today and see what the seeds are like inside and dehydrate them. So these Kakai pumpkins are developed from an Austrian pumpkin, a Styrian pumpkin. I think it was developed in about 1993, and they're grown in Austria for the seeds, which they process into oil and into edible pumpkin seeds. So yeah, I mean they're very, very nutritious, full of protein. Pumpkin seeds are full of protein, also full of minerals and vitamins, so they're very, very good for you. Yeah, so the actual flesh as well is edible. People say it's not as tasty as traditional pumpkins. It's sort of nutty, earthy flavour, but it makes a nice soup, and apparently you can also roast it as well. So we'll try that. We won't throw the flesh away. We'll probably freeze a lot of it and then use it as we go along over the sort of coming months. So the Kakai pumpkins are grown exactly the same way as traditional pumpkins and sown at the same time of the year. I did consider keeping some of the seeds for replanting this year or resowing this year, but apparently they cross very easily with courgettes or other squashes, so I don't know how viable the seed will be to get a sort of a Kakai out of it really. So I have got some seeds left over from last year still. Got another, I think got another 5 or 6 in there, so I only used about half the packet last year. But I will try and grow a couple and see how they come out. But yeah, they do cross very easily, so it's not a very good option, I don't think. So yeah, what we'll do now is we'll cut one open and see what we've got inside. Ooh, yeah. They're slightly larger than the ones you get in the shops, I think. So yeah. So it's a matter of scooping these out now, and then we've got to wash all the pumpkin flesh out off of them and then dry them off before we can dehydrate them. So the first thing would be to scoop them all out. There's not that many seeds in each one actually. Thought there'd be more than that. Oh, there's more underneath. I thought that was it, but there's more underneath. It smells quite nutty actually. I have to use my fingers, I think. Looks like you get about maybe a cupful from each pumpkin. So it's taken quite a lot of time to do that actually. 2 of us probably about, I don't know, hour and a half, hour and 3/4 I think. So we've taken all the seeds out. I think just over 1 kilogram there. But at the moment they're a bit slivery and slimy. We've got a whole load of compost for the bin. I've got these ones we're going to probably keep for roasting, I think. We've got another pile over here. I've taken the skin off it. We're going to chop up and freeze. We've chopped up and cooked down a whole pot full, which we're going to make into a puree and freeze that in batches so we can make that into soup. Or I might even try and make some hummus with it as well, see how that turns out. But yeah, so the next step will be to wash thoroughly the seeds, get all the pumpkin fibre off of them, and then we'll move on to the next stage after that. So they've been thoroughly washed now. We've removed most of the fibres, a few little bits left, but I think they'll burn away in the dehydrator actually. They can be eaten like this actually, they taste really nice. Quite a nice nutty flavour of it, but sort of not as crunchy as the ones that are fully dried, but they're edible. So we'll let them dry a bit longer and then we'll put them into the dehydrator after that. So we've got 5 trays to put into the dehydrator, and these will go in the dehydrator for approximately 2 hours at around 120 degrees Fahrenheit. You can use the oven, but you'd have to, because the oven doesn't go down to very low temperatures, you'd have to put on the lowest setting and probably leave it in the oven with the door slightly ajar for 3 to 4 hours, I'd say, for them to dry in the oven. But I'll put them into the dehydrator after 2 hours and we'll come back and have a check. So the dehydrator has been on for 2 hours at 125 degrees Fahrenheit or around 50 degrees centigrade. They're nice and crunchy and dried out. Yeah. Oh, lovely. So what I'll do is put those into, once they've cooled down thoroughly, completely, put them into an airtight jar. And they should keep for a few months, but I don't think they'll probably last that long. They're really tasty actually. Got a nice nutty flavour. As I said earlier, they're so nutritious, rich in proteins and minerals and vitamins. So yeah, good experiment for this year. So well worth growing the Kakai pumpkin. I think they're sort of available, so if you'd like to have a go for next spring to plant some, sow some, have a go. Well worth it. It's quite a fiddly process to actually get the seeds out and fibrrise them. That took quite a while, but good end product. So you can use the pumpkin and you can eat the seeds. So well worth it. So hope you've enjoyed the video. Give us a thumbs up if you have. If you've ever tried sort of processing pumpkin seeds yourself before, leave us a comment in the box, see how you've got on before. As I said, we've tried with the traditional pumpkins, but we've never been that successful. So if you've got any tips on how to actually process those, that'd be handy, because I've got some of those as well yet, which we haven't sort of used yet in storage. So yeah, well worth a go. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel and you're new to our channel, please consider subscribing. What we try to do is show you how we grow stuff, but also how we use the harvest as well. So we're using the pumpkin and the seeds for the Kakai pumpkins. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and happy Christmas and happy New Year to everybody.